Today we're going to talk about combining two images. Sometimes you might want to take a picture of a background and superimpose a person or an object on top of that one. Now, I could just go to open image from computer, but I want to save both of my original images. I don't want to lose them, but for this purpose I just want to combine the two. So I'm actually going to create a new image. I'm going to title this Mitch at the Badger Game. And select OK. Now, in order to open an image from my computer, I am going to go to File, Open New Image. Now, I had one on my desktop that I wanted, and it's a picture of Camp Randall, Wisconsin. Now, I'm going to use my marquee tool. I'm going to select the portion of the picture that I want. And remember, I go up to Edit and Copy. Now click on my background, Edit, and paste. Now because my original picture was bigger than my background, I'm going to have to resize it. So I'm going to go to Edit and Free Transform. Now I can make my image smaller. By continually dragging. Now remember, you have to be careful when you're doing this because sometimes you can lose the aspect ratio and your picture can become distorted. As you can see, that can happen fairly easily. I'm just going to center my image so that my goalposts are in the middle. Then I click outside of that. Do I want to apply the changes? And I'm going to say yes. Now really I'm going to get rid of this other picture and I do not want to save the changes I made to that. Now I have my background the way I want it. Now to put my next picture over the top, I'm going to go back to File, Open Image, and I am going to pick a picture of my son. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can do this. You can either use the lasso tool and go very closely around your image. I prefer to use the marquee tool. I think it's just a little bit easier to control. So I'm going to click, I'm going to go around the picture of my son. Again, I go up to Edit and Copy, click on my background, and now Edit and Paste. I'm going to free transform. I want this a little bit smaller than what I have right now. Move it down so it looks like he is standing on the side with the goalpost in the background. Now if I just leave this picture the way it is, it doesn't look very clean. So there's a couple things I can do. I prefer to use the magic wand tool whenever possible. I'm going to click on my magic wand, go on the outside, and as you can see, this one, it doesn't really work very well because there's lots of small images. And I'm going to click on paste. Now I think what I would like to do is I think I actually might use my marquee tool to do bigger sections, edit and cut, and you will see that in the background you see the original picture that's underneath. Smaller section, edit and cut. I'm going to do this large. Oh, if I do that though, I'm going to cut off his head. I don't want to do that. Take a big chunk out. Delete. Now, you can also go to your eraser tool now and click on that to get rid of that. Go to my eraser. Sometimes you have to click. There we go. Now I'm going to go to my eraser. And this is like the paintbrush where you can make it different sizes. I'm going to click on the bigger one. And I'm going to go in very carefully and start cutting away at the extra part of the photo of Mitchell at a different football game. Very carefully. I'm going to cut away some of this image. Depending on what tool you use or the size of the brush or the eraser you use, you can actually get rid of big sections at once. And if you go in too far, you can always undo your last move. One of the things I like about this tool is I can put it close to the side and then lift up. So you can get pretty close to your image without completely erasing a section you want to keep. Now you can also use the smaller size of the same tool to do the same thing. Oh, see, now I got a little bit too much of Mitchell's hat, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to undo. I'm going to go back in with a different tool in a minute. I'm going to go get the big sections that I know I can get. Sometimes too, I'll take a slice, I'll get close, and then I'll just sweep away the extra. Now this part is going to get a little trickier in here. So I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to change the size of my eraser, make it smaller, see how close I can get. You have to be careful when you choose what image you want to do with this, because some of them just aren't going to work very well to get that close, to get a really clear shot. So now if I am completely satisfied with my picture, well, I noticed a spot I missed, which is good. I'm glad I caught that now, because remember, when you save on Pixlr, it cements it right on there. So you do not want to save unless you're absolutely positive your picture is exactly the way you want it, because you cannot go back and move any of these layers around or change it. So now that I have my picture the way I want it, and you could still add text over the top just like you would normally if I wanted to, but I'm going to leave it just the way it is. Now that I'm convinced that I like it the way it is, I'm going to go up to File and Save. Remember, I'm not going to change this. I've already named it. Click OK. I'm not going to change this on top because I don't want to lose that JPEG extension. And I'm going to click Save. And now my picture of Mitchell at the Badger game is complete.